Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're diving into the twin bottle to one I reviewed just a little bit ago, from a distillery again that we don't cover too often on this channel. That's right, it's the Shenks Homestead Kentucky Sour Mash Whiskey. So I will link it above. I did a review of Bamberger's 2022. Kind of the sister, brother, cousin bottle, if you will, to the Shenks. These are from Michters. This is from Michters Distillery. This is the 2022 release. This comes in at 91.2 proof. Compute. 45.6% alcohol by volume. So if you remember, Bamberger's was a 108. So this one is 91.2. A little bit lower. Again, they do more than one batch a year, but this is bottle number 1,620 of 1,924. Again, I feel like they kind of just cheaped out with the wine bottle design, but it's alright. These labels are like very small print and hard to read. Michters, do better. I mean, just do better on your labeling. The Bambergers and this, I mean, hard to read. Batch number, for those that really care, 22F1878. Now, if your memory is really sharp, you'll know that my buddy Kevin loaned me his bottle of Bambergers because he was able to find one, and he came through again. Big shout out to my buddy Kevin for loaning me the Shenks, which he also scooped up. And he was kind enough to loan me so that you, good viewers, can get my opinions on this bottle. So, let's dive into it. While our Shenks 2022 gets some air here, I will say this bottle in PA, $99.99 a bottle. 100 doll hairs was the MSRP here in Pennsylvania. The Bambergers was 110. So you think about that. Like 19 proof points more, and it was only 10 bucks more, the Bambergers. Alright, color-wise, you know, I'm actually fairly happy with the color on this for a 91.2 proof bourbon. I mean, it's fairly dark. I don't mind that at all. No age statements on the bottle. I didn't really look into this one, so if you know more about it, drop it in the comments. But these are kind of always the twins every year. Bambergers and Shenks that they do from Michters. Once a year releases. Alright, let's give it a nosing. Ooh, very pleasant on the nose. I get some oak, some vanilla. There's a nice like red fruit component as well, but it's like fruity oak. It's not like separate. It's like a very red fruity oak with some vanilla. Very good nose, I will say. Get like some honey graham crackers on this as well. Maybe some sweet tobacco. Very pleasant nose. If I smell this, I go, I'm going to like it. I also get some chocolate. I will say there's like some milk chocolate on here. Very pleasant nose. On the nose, I'm digging it. Let's take a sip. Wow. It's got some good and it's got some bad. Big pop of sweetness, but also in the middle is like a youth note. Kind of disappointing for a $100 bottle, I will say. I get just like a little bit of a youth note peeking through, which kind of ruins it. Now the back finish is all cinnamon and like Christmas spice. Very pleasant finish. I get like a little good pop of like cinnamon chocolate on the back with like a, reminds me of like grandma's shortbread Christmas cookies or something on the back. The finish is excellent. but it's like the up front and the middle that struggle. Let's take one more sip. Again, up front, I get some of that like honey sweetness. The red fruit and oak kind of disappeared, and it just kind of, you get the honey sweetness, and you get like a little bit of a youth note in the middle, and then it finishes with that like sugar cookie, cinnamon, chocolate finish. What's the rating on this? Taking into account the $100 price and the limited availability, I'm gonna go with a C+. Now, my reason for that is, at $100 a bottle, there's really no excuse for a youth note to come into your bourbon. And although there's a lot of good things going on here, the youth note just kind of like, it's like a booger in like the family pumpkin pie, you know? It just, the pumpkin pie was good, but the booger kind of ruined it, right? It's that youth note just kind of ruins it from an overall experience. If it didn't have that, would have got probably an A. Are you going to enjoy it if you buy it? Probably yes, I will say that. Will you feel completely ripped off? No. Would this have been better at like a $65 price point? Yes. Now, thanks to another supporter of the channel, Brantley. Thank you again, sir. He sent me a sample of Shenks 2021. So over here in the gold, we're rocking Shenks from last year. So if you had Shenks from last year, we'll give you some thoughts on last year's versus 2022. Because this channel always gives you more. So before I go on, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're at a little over 600, so every subscribe counts. Alright, let's give it a nosing. This actually smells more youthful. There's not as much like oak and deepness in the 21 as in the 22 on the nose. But other than that, very similar. We get pretty much the same thing. A little bit of that milk chocolate. There is a youth note on the nose that I didn't get a youth note on the nose of the 22, but I do get a slight hint of youth on the 21 here. And the overall oak experience is lighter, and there's a little bit more red fruit coming through on the nose. Let's take a sip. So the 21 has more just like general sweetness and like confectioner's sugar and honey going on the front. That carries through to the mid palate. The finish doesn't quite bring the cinnamon chocolate that I was getting. It's just like, it is a little bit like of a cookie, but it's missing all the cinnamon chocolate that was in the 22. Let me take one more sip of the 21 here. I gotta say, the nose on the 22 is better. The 21 just has more general, it's less interesting. There's just like more general sweetness on the 21. But it doesn't seem to have as much of a youth note, like kind of in the middle. So we're going back to the 22 here. Yeah, the 22 has a better nose overall. We'll give the win to the 22 for the nose palate. The 22 is better. If you like the 21 a lot and you felt that was a good value for you, pick up the 22. A little bit darker, has a little bit better complexity of flavors to it as well. So it's got that cinnamon, that chocolate. The oak's a little bit stronger in the 22, but it's not over oaky, so don't worry about that. But overall, my grade kind of remains the same. It's good. If you spent the money on it, you probably wouldn't be upset. It's good drinkable whiskey. Pretty crushable at the 91.2 proof. You could just have that whole bottle done in a weekend if you and a buddy are just, you know, sitting back enjoying it. It's really easy drinking. Now, in the spirit of that's not quite all on this channel, our good friend Brantley, also if you watch my Bourbon Burgers video, which I linked above earlier, I do have a sample of the Bourbon Burgers 2021 still here. So let's just see how that goes. Oh, it's just deeper, darker, and more oak on the nose. Man. Alright, let's take a sip. Bourbon Burgers kills it. Way more of that delicious oak from the Chingapin partial finishing on the Bourbon Burgers. The 108 proof point is a lot better. deeper, darker flavor all the way through. If you have the opportunity to buy a Shenks or a Bomburgers, buy the Bomburgers from either year. But the Bomburgers is where it's at, folks. The Shenks, I would say, is for someone that's not a proof hound, just wants an easy, crushable pour. The Shenks is for you. The Bomburgers, though, really delivers better flavors. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and again, subscribe. Have a great evening, everybody.